Hello my dears, this is Sarah from SheHoldsDearly.com, and today I want to spend some time talking about different ways to style your thrifted decorations once you get them home. Now before I dive in, I also want to tell you that there is a sale going on this week. I have an e-course called Meals Made Easy, and I share a bunch of techniques to save you time and money in the kitchen and to completely get rid of meal planning, to only shop once a month, how to deal with food allergies, how to organize the kitchen so it goes quickly, and all that is available half off this week. I only do that once a year. So the code you're gonna use when you check out is SUMMER, all caps, and I'll put the link below if you're interested. I'm gonna run the sale through Friday night, so I'm sorry if you're watching this after Friday night. So it's one thing when you are in a thrift store or garage sale and you are finding cute things. That's half the battle, is finding the cute things. And I do have a checklist, which I'll link below as well, that you can download and keep with you when you're shopping. I think it's really helpful. And on there are a list of things that I look for every time I'm thrifting. So that's half the battle, is to find the treasures among the trash. Then you gotta get them home. And I love the part of just seeing them all together, and I clean them all up, and I have a blog post on that, on the different ways and the different products that I use to get my things cleaned up and feel like they're not gross in my own house. So once you're to that stage, then you gotta figure out how to incorporate them into your space to make them look super cute. So I'm gonna focus on 7 different decorations and the ways that I've used them in my home. So the first one is fabric. I always wanna look through the fabrics, and that is not just fabric, but it is tablecloths, it is curtains, shower curtains, blankets, sheets. All of those things can be cross-used in your home. And for instance, I love using curtains for a throw blanket or for a tablecloth. You can use a curtain for a shower curtain. I've got one up in my bathroom right now that is a curtain that I'm using. And then you should always look through the dust ruffles. I especially love twin size dust ruffles because they work really well as tablecloths with that pretty edge on a 6-foot banquet table. And I use those in I did an Anne of Green Gables party that was featured in a magazine a while back, and I used my crocheted edged dust ruffles for my tablecloths. I've used them as curtains, just cutting them down the middle. I have a set in my kitchen that it was a twin size dust ruffle, so you can use them as curtains, and then also just, of course, you can use them as a dust ruffle. I also love finding table runners that I can cut in half and use as cafe curtains, so that's a fun use for those. Okay, the second item that I'm always looking for is small furniture. I mean, big furniture is fun, but it's a huge hassle to switch out, and so I don't actually just go looking for new beds and new kitchen tables. If I were in business remaking and selling furniture, then I would be doing it. Otherwise, I don't think I would. But I love the little pieces. I love looking at chairs. I love looking at stools and small tables, small cabinets, those types of things, because those are amazing to just tuck into different corners. And by corners, I don't mean like, you know, the 4 corners of a room. I mean like angling them next to a mantle or putting them next to a piano and kind of filling in space, like more of like an end table thought. I found this little bamboo table for $2 at a garage sale, and I have it tucked back in a corner in the bathroom. That just brings this really sweet little touch to the space. I love stools for using them as end tables. And they're nice because if people move a chair around to sit like closer to the fire or something, they can just easily pull a stool over to set their glass on. So that's really useful. I also love to put them on the porch, and I'll put like a potted plant on them. I'll stick them in my kitchen for maybe like if I'm using my dehydrator, I'll want it like off my counter, and I'll put it back on a little stool in the corner. We'll do that kind of stuff. Okay, the third item that I always look for are vintage books. And usually they have the linen covers on them, and they come in different colors. Oh my gosh, I just feel like I can never have enough of these books. And I don't actually usually read them, I just use them for decorations. They'll usually have a linen cover, and then like usually gold writing on the spine. So I like to group these by color, and especially for seasonal decorating, they are so nice. So I'll use my browns and my reds for the fall, and then my reds and greens for Christmas, and my reds and blues for summer, and maybe my blues and greens for spring. And there's a few different ways that I like to use them. You can like put them in a basket, or you could stack them, like some of them vertically, some of them horizontally, and then that way like put them together so that the vertical ones don't fall over. Of course, you could use bookends. You can use them to stack things, make other items look higher. And if you're really wanting to decorate on the edge, you could do something like I did with my book wall, where I took old books and I actually like opened them up and stapled them on with my staple gun just to the wall, and I have this whole gallery wall going on in my hallway. Okay, and I always suggest looking through the holiday stuff. I know there's just a bunch of junk in there, but there are a few treasures in there, and so it's worth checking out. A lot of times I will find really great holiday decorations, so I'll find like maybe an old flag, or I found a vintage sled that I hung on the wall out here on the porch for Christmas. Old ice skates are really beautiful. I like to hang those with sleigh bells, hang them on the front door at Christmas time. You can even find nice faux Christmas trees. I've done that, and then more and more I like to group Christmas trees in my house in different heights, so it has a little bit of a forest feel. All right, and then you have to always check containers, and by containers I mean all the dishes wherever you're at. You want to look for crates, you want to look for baskets, pails, jars and bottles and tins, anything that speaks to you. Grab it, and you don't even have to know what you're gonna do with it. I feel like once they're clean and they're kind of sitting out in my house, it doesn't take more than a couple days before I find something that I'm like, oh, this would be way cuter if I put it in a container. I don't like labels in my house. Things like laundry soap and things, I don't actually want to see those. I want them in containers because it just looks so much more vintage. So save them for that. Use them in your bathrooms, you know, for toothbrushes, for towels, for cotton balls, Q-tips, Epsom salts, things like that. I love to put plants, either faux or real, in baskets and use those around the house. I have them out on my porch, baskets with plants in them. I have one basket that I wanted to use. When I bought it, I thought it would make a really great trash can, but I didn't want to actually like put trash. And I was like, you would see the plastic bag in there, and I didn't really like that look. So I ended up putting my olive tree in it that's up in my bedroom, and I think it's just the perfect combination. Okay, and then if you want to get extra fun with containers, look through serving pieces and think about how you could use it. So I love dessert stands, you know, those 3-tier dessert stands, and you just put dinner plates on them. I use them in all kinds of ways. I love using them for seasonal decorations. I have them in my living room, on my coffee table often. I love the height of them, and that it can get decorations up on these different levels. I have a dessert stand in my downstairs bathroom, and we keep towels on there. And so anything you want to hide, anything you want to organize, anything you want to like take it up to the next level to make it look a little bit cuter, that's where your containers come in. All right, number 6, I always look through art. I especially am drawn to farm scenes. I'm drawn to oil paintings, which are coming back into style. And then, you know, if you don't like the actual art that you're looking at, just focus on the frames. And a lot of times you can find frames that are really cute that you could spray paint. I like grouping them together. I love the different textures that you can get by grouping frames. Sometimes you can take the painting out, like I did with this chalkboard, and just add a thin board in and spray it with chalkboard paint. My husband did that for me as a gift one time. You could just have the frames empty. I love that look with empty frames where they're all just kind of layered on top of each other. I did that on top of my piano one time for Christmas. Okay, and last but not least are just looking for just fun antiques and architectural pieces. So I found an old typewriter at a garage sale that I think is super cute in my living room, or sometimes I'll put it up in my office area. I love this croquet set. It reminds me of my grandparents. It moves regularly around my house during the summer. Sometimes I have it by my piano, sometimes I will put it out on the porch. I found these old paintbrushes and I hung them up on my wall by my desk. I found this easel at a garage sale for $7 and I regularly move it around my house like in different little corners that I talked about earlier. And I'll switch out the artwork just as a little bit extra interest besides hanging something on the wall. You could use an old ladder in your living room to hang blankets on. And then always check out doors and windows. You just never know what you're gonna find. I found these bifold doors that we have up in our bedroom and we dressed them all up by adding some trim and some paint, some knobs, and I just love the finished look. I have a whole video on that which I will link for you. And then if you can find some bifold doors that are louvered, those basically in my mind are huge shutters and they're beautiful for backdrops, for seasonal decorating. I put them on my porch, I put them in my living room. Or you can use them as like a room divider if you want to kind of section off a little space. They're good for that. So think outside of the box when you find things that maybe don't look appealing. And hopefully that is got you all inspired for out thrifting this summer. Let me know in the comments below which of my ideas is your favorite, or you can add to this list if you want, and I'd love to hear your feedback. So thank you so much for watching this whole video and following along. You guys are amazing supporters. If you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button so that I can share more DIY design advice and our vintage farm life with you. All right, take care and I will talk to you soon.